Once upon a medieval time, in a land far away, unless of course you are in England, then it's not so far away at all, there lived a mighty king who had a son by the name of Arthur that he did not want. He gave that son away to his mystical advisor, Merlin. That's me. And I in turn gave the king's son to serve the good knight Sir Hector as his lowly page and then squire. Sir Hector and Arthur lived in a place crowded with the most rowdy, bawdy, unruly, untidy, yet mighty medieval men.
Oh, look and you shall see how mighty all are we, a finer team of men you'll ever find. Noble, brave, and bold, with hearts as pure as gold, you can see we're on in every fight. We are awesome, we are daring, and we know we can fight anything. We are the lords of chivalry. We are mighty medieval men. That's right. We are the lords of chivalry. We are mighty medieval men. Once or twice a day, a dragon we will slay. Our armor is a fine quality tin. A damsel in distress can toss away her stress. For every battle we will certainly win. We are awesome, we are daring, and we know we can fight anything. We are the lords of chivalry. We are mighty medieval men. That's right. We are the lords of chivalry. We are mighty medieval men. Mighty medieval, mighty medieval, 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 mighty medieval men. We are the lords of chivalry. We are mighty medieval men. We are the lords of chivalry. We are mighty medieval men. They think they're mighty hot, but somehow they forgot the women are the ones who rule the day. No damsels in distress as we clean up their mess, and yet we have to hear as they proclaim. We are awesome, they are flying, and we know they can fight anything. They are the lords of chivalry. We are mighty medieval men. They are the lords of chivalry. We are mighty medieval men. Mighty medieval, mighty medieval, 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 mighty medieval men. We are the lords of chivalry. We are mighty medieval men. We are the lords of chivalry. We are mighty medieval men.
Very nice. Very nice. Okay, we get it. We get it. You all know the King Arthur legend. If not, let me tell you.
Oh, Merlin, let us tell it. You'll go on for days.
Well, I guess that would be all right, but
It was the day of the big joust. All the knights were gathered in the roped-off area with their armor, horses, weapons, and attended by their young squires. Squires are young men who hope one day to be knights themselves. The squires do everything for the knights, including getting them ready for the joust.
Remember, Arthur was the squire for Sir Hector.
Everyone is gathered for the biggest joust of the year.
It's like the World Series of all jousts.
The Stanley Cup. The Super Bowl.
The Olympics of the jousting world.
Enough already. Let's have a song.
enough to shake.
With a hey and a ho and a nonny no, every night can play. With a hey and a ho and a nonny no, on this jousting day. With a hey and a ho and a nonny no, racing to and fro. With a hey and a ho and a nonny no, a jousting we will go.
On guard.
Enough already! Stop! Now, where was I? Oh, yes, it was the squire's job to serve as knight. So what happens when the knight forgets his most important weapon?
The squire has to get it.
Sir Hector forgot his sword at home. Not good for a knight who was on deck at the joust.
So Arthur takes off as fast as his squirey legs will take him.
He runs through the streets of the town, past the castle moat.
Past the church and several fine dining establishments. By the time he reaches the town square, he realizes he is only halfway home.
He knows he will never make it all the way home, get Sir Hector's sword, and then get back to the joust in time for Sir Hector to participate.
Now, this is where I have to remind you of the legend of King Arthur. You will recall from your lessons that when the king, Arthur's father, died, there was no heir to the throne.
That'll teach him to give his son away.
So, the royal court had a sword placed in a stone in the town square.
The legend says that whomever could pull that sword out of the stone would be the rightful heir to the throne. They would become the king. I just said that.
It is in front of this sword-stabbed stone that Squire Arthur finds himself as he's racing home to retrieve Sir Hector's sword.
What you probably don't recall from this famous legend is that only a few steps away from that stone was another rock.
And sticking out of that rock was something even more beautiful and enticing than the former king's sword.
And that's what caught Arthur's attention.
2 stones, each with something interesting protruding from it. I only have time to choose one and get back to the joust. Well, this one is most certainly a sword and seems a logical choice. But this one is much more colorful and seems full of many fantastic possibilities. I'm taking this one.
Does this sound at all familiar to you? Well, watch what happens next.
My lord, I brought you the best instrument that I could find. Isn't it colorful?
What? What is this?
I have no idea, but isn't it beautiful?
Beautiful indeed. But what can it do?
It is the strange tube that was sticking out of the stone in the town square. Everyone knows that whomever pulls it out is the rightful heir to the throne.
I thought that was the sword.
Duh, it works for both.
All hail the king! All hail King Arthur!
Wow, am I really the new king? Can I really be?
You're it, Your Majesty. Now, what will be your first decree?
You mean anything?
Sure, you're the king.
Well, then I decree that from now on, in this kingdom, there will be no more use for swords or weapons of any sort, except this marvelous, colorful instrument.
What? You can't be serious!
I think it's a marvelous idea.
Yeah,
totally.
Yeah. And until you men get used to the idea, none of us damsels are going to be friendly to you at all.
Or wash your clothes.
Or cook your meals.
Or cheer your jousting.
King Arthur says no more swords.
And that's the way it's going to be. All hail the king!
You mean after I come home from a long day of lording over the serfs, you're not going to have a hot meal waiting for me?
Not if you're lording with anything but that.
You mean I'm going to have to wash my own clothes every year? Or wear them dirty?
You mean I have to milk my own cow?
From now on, unless you pick up that boom whacker instead of a sword, if you want milk, you get moving.
Boomwhacker? What a fantastic name!
Come on! We've got to get this sword out of here! Ah!
Here, let me try. Oh, I think I pulled something.
Time to grow up, show your stuff. Living in peace is not so tough. That's the way it's gonna be. If you want some help from me, that's the way it's gonna be. Mark my words and you will see. That's the way it's gonna be.
Now, it all seemed fine until rumor has it there was an attack coming from France.
Your Majesty, rumor has it there is an attack coming from France!
I just said that.
An attack from France? Oh no!
And all we have to fight with are these colorful boomwhackers.
Stop! Silence! We must keep sound heads or we will surely go down in defeat.
But Your Majesty, what are we to do?
I think we should sing a round.
What?
I mean, rounds are good. Here, gather around my round table and I'll show you what I mean. We're the knights of the round table. We are strong and we are able. There's no foe we cannot vanquish. We know right makes might. Sing with me!
We're the knights of the round table. We are strong and we are able. There's no foe we cannot vanquish. We know right makes might.
Now, are we boys or are we men?
Men!
Are we men or are we knights?
Knights!
Are we knights of the round table?
Yes, Your Majesty!
Then sing, men, sing like the knights you are.
We're the knights of the round table. We are strong and we are able. There's no foe we cannot vanquish. We know right makes might. We're the knights of the round table. We are strong and we are able. There's no foe we cannot vanquish. We know right makes might. We're the knights of the round table. We are strong and we are able. There's no foe we cannot vanquish. We know right makes might. We're the knights of the round table. We are strong and we are able. There's no foe we cannot vanquish. We know right makes might. Left, right, left, right.
There, wasn't that nice?
Okay, Your Majesty, we're doing our best, but we still don't know what to do with these things.
I know. Let's call in the smartest advisors we know. They'll know what to do.
I naturally thought the king was referring to me. But as I stepped forward, I heard...
Yes, call in the court jesters. They always know what to do.
If you can get past their silly jokes and ridiculous songs.
Look, I see one now. A fool on the hill.
Not just one, but a whole cast of them.
The smartest dudes inside the court. They're cute and kind of cool. They're always called as last resort, 'cause they did well in school. Never dull, never cruel. They're nobody's fool. No, no, no. They're nobody's fool. Be careful who you call a fool. They may be sly like fox, with no exception
wonder about yourself, what kind of fool am I? Or why do fools fall in love? Did you ever wonder why?
If you want to give yourself a silly little thrill,
Do your best with all the rest, be the fool up on the hill.
From Liverpool to Istanbul, yeah, nobody's fool, no, no, no. Yeah, nobody's fool, no, no, no. Yeah,
No one but a fool is always right. Your Majesty, we hear you have a problem.
Yes, my friend, I've made the decision that we will be a peace-loving nation, that we will turn our swords into boomwhackers, and live side by side with our neighbors in friendship.
And we damsels are backing him up by not being nice to the men until they go along with the king.
That's the way it's going to be.
I think that sounds like a great idea.
the problem is, we have just been told that the French are on their way to attack us, and I don't think that they are going to be armed with only boom whackers.
It's all my fault. I truly believe we wouldn't need weapons if we always did the right thing and worked for a land filled with harmony. And now I put my entire kingdom in jeopardy.
Once upon a medieval time, in a land far away, unless, of course, you are in England, then it's not so far away at all, there lived a mighty king who had a son by the name of Arthur that he did not want. He gave that son away to his mystical advisor, Merlin. That's me. And I, in turn, gave the king's son to serve the good knight Sir Hector as his lowly page and then squire. Sir Hector and Arthur lived in a place crowded with the most rowdy, bawdy, unruly, untidy, yet mighty medieval men.
Oh, look and you shall see how mighty all are we. A finer team of men you'll ever find. Noble, brave, and bold, with hearts as pure as gold. You can see we're on and every fight. We are awesome, we are daring, and we know we can fight anything. We are the lords of chivalry. We are mighty medieval men. That's right. We are the lords of chivalry. We are mighty medieval men. Once or twice a day, a dragon we will slay. Our armor is a fine quality tin. A damsel in distress can toss away her stress. For every battle we will certainly win. We are awesome, we are daring, and we know we can fight anything. We are the lords of chivalry. We are mighty medieval men. That's right. We are the lords of chivalry. We are mighty medieval men. Mighty medieval, mighty medieval, 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 mighty medieval men. We are the lords of chivalry. We are mighty medieval men. We are the lords of chivalry. We are mighty medieval men. They think they're mighty hot, but somehow they forgot the women are the ones who rule the day. No damsels in distress as we clean up their mess, and yet we have to hear as they proclaim. We are awesome, they are flying, and we know they can fight anything. They are the lords of chivalry. We are mighty medieval men. They are the lords of chivalry. We are mighty medieval men. Mighty medieval, mighty medieval, 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 mighty medieval men. We are the lords of chivalry. We are mighty medieval men. We are the lords of chivalry. We are mighty medieval men.
Very nice. Very nice. Okay, we get it. We get it. You all know the King Arthur legend. If not, let me tell you.
Oh, Merlin, let us tell it. You'll go on for days.
Well, I guess that would be all right, but
It was the day of the big joust. All the knights were gathered in the roped-off area with their armor, horses, weapons,
And attended by their young squires.
Squires are young men who hope one day to be knights themselves.
The squires do everything for the knights, including getting them ready for the joust.
remember, Arthur was the squire for Sir Hector.
Everyone is gathered for the biggest joust of the year.
It's like the World Series of all jousts,
The Stanley Cup. The Super Bowl.
the Olympics of the jousting world.
Enough already. Let's have a song.
Yes, my countrymen, my friends, lend me your ears. This is what I was talking about. Music, harmony, having might by being right, being in tune. I knew that if we all just tried a little harder, we could put away our weapons forever and make beautiful music. Listen, listen, we are doing it. We are making music together, and it is beautiful. My people, from this day forward, let us never forget this sound and this moment. The moment when men and women put down their swords and shields, picked up a somewhat musical instrument, raised our voices and sang. Sing, boys, sing!
Your Majesty, I have terrible news. The men of Scotland are invading from the north and are sure to overrun us all.